Okay, so now what we're going to do is now we have to go backwards. We have this written, the numerical expression. What we want to do is we want to take this expression, we want to put it into words, and then this time, guys, we do want to solve it. So on the front side, you did not have to solve it, and this time we want to solve it. Okay, so you might need some scratch paper to kind of help you solve it. What I will probably do is just kind of off camera, kind of solve it, tell you what you need to do, or maybe like off over here up at the top. I don't have a lot of room to be able to do it. I could see if I can find some scratch paper around. I'll use a Post-it note. So we are going to want to solve it. But first, what we want to do is we want to write it in words. And if I were you guys, especially when it comes to your exit ticket and your practice pages, is go ahead and have this side with you, because that will kind of help you to be able to come up with the words, okay? So the first thing that we're going to do is we're just going to basically read this. And this is saying it's 12 times. So I'm going to write 12 times. Okay, I'm going to let you guys kind of write that. So I've already got 12 times. And if I have 5 plus 25, so 5 plus 25, that's going to give me an addition problem. I know that it's going to be the sum. So it's going to be 12 times the sum of, and then what did we add? 5 and 25. Okay. Now, I don't necessarily have to spell out this 12. I could have just written the number 12. Okay, so you don't necessarily need to do that. If you did, that's okay, or if you wrote it that way, that is fine as well. So now I can go ahead and add this up. So 25 plus 5, guys, I can do that in my head. That is going to be 30, and I want to multiply 30 times 12. So 0 times 2 is 0, 3 times 2 is going to give me 6, placeholder here, 1 times 0, 0, 3 times 1 is 3. My answer to this problem is going to be 360, and so I want to write that up on that part of my paper, okay? Moving on to 62 minus 12 times 11. So what I'm going to do, and guys, because of the commutative property, it doesn't matter if this 11 is here or this 12 is here. So what I am going to do is I'm going to first start off and say I'm going to do 11 times. And then what am I doing? I'm subtracting, so that's called the difference. So 11 times the difference of 62 and 12, okay? Now I could say the difference of 62 and 12 11 times or times 11, so it can be interchanged with moving these things around. The only thing is, especially when you are subtracting, you've got to make sure that you have those numbers in the correct place. So now we're going to go ahead and solve it. So I'm going to do, first I'm going to do 62 minus 12 is going to give me 50, and I'm going to multiply that by 11. And this answer is going to give me 550. And I'll tell you guys one thing, when we're doing these problems, they're going to actually give you some pretty nice and easy numbers to be able to multiply and add, subtract, that kind of thing. All right, so the next one, we're basically kind of doing the same thing. I've got 23, well, actually, let me go ahead and do this. I'm going to do 45, the sum of 45 and 55, because I'm adding those two together. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to times it. The sum of 45 and 55, I could say 23 times. I could say times 23, or I could even, guys, say 23 times the sum of. So there's a couple different ways that we can see this. So let's go ahead and do 45 times, plus 55. That's going to give me 100. So I've got 23 times 100. And guys, we know this from our previous lesson that this answer will be 2,300. Okay. Last problem of this one, where we have to write the expression. And so what I am going to do is I am going to say the sum of, okay, so here's that sum of, And I'm going to say, instead of saying 30 times 2 and 8 times 2, I'm going to say 2 30s. Or I could say 2 30s, or I could say 32s and 8 2s. And on this one, so I don't have something like this, so it looks like 302, I actually am going to go ahead and write that out. Okay, so now I can go ahead and solve this. 30 times 2, I know in my head is 60, and I'm going to be adding that to 8 times 2 is going to be 16. So this answer is going to give me 76. Okay, this one is a little bit tricky. You could have said 2 30s, but it shows 30 2s, and then I've got 8 2s. So when you are multiplying something like this, one of the numbers you can write it numerically. The other number, I would definitely write it in that word form so you don't get confused. So we've got 2 more problems right here, and what we are going to do is we want to take a look and figure out, is it greater than, less than, or equal to? So we are going to have to solve them using our orders of operations. On here, it's pretty easy, nice. We've got some space right here that we can solve them. When we get down here, we actually are going to have to write our equation to be able to find out what the answer is. So what I'm going to do is I am going to look here, and actually I can already tell I have 24 times 25, and I'm going to have 25 times 12. Now, here's the thing. I'm not going to go ahead and calculate this because actually, if you read the directions, it says do not calculate. So I don't need to calculate this. If I've got 24 times 25, and I've got 25 times 12, which one's going to give me the greater answer? Well, the greater answer is going to be right over here. I don't have to solve that because I know that I'm multiplying 25 by something. This one is by 12. This one's by 24. This is a smaller number. This is my smaller number. This one's going to be bigger because 24 is a greater number. Okay, so let's go ahead and look here. I've got 18 times 27. Not going to mess with that. I've got 20 27s minus 1 27. So 20 27s right there. This is telling me that I am going to be multiplying this. So I'm going to do 20, and how many, what do I have? I've got 27s. So I've got 20 27s, and I'm going to subtract 1 27, which, I mean, I could put 1 times 27, but I know that that's going to be 27, okay? So if I think about this, this is where you also kind of have to think. I have 18 times 27. Well, guys, think about this. If I take 127 away from here, what do I have? Well, I actually have 19 over here now. Okay, so you kind of have to think. I've got 20 27. So if I were to write out 20, okay, so let's just kind of 20, I'm going to have 27 here, okay, or 20 of them, okay, but if I take one of those away, that's going to give me 19 now. So I'm going to have 19 times 27, 18 times 27. This one is going to be greater. Okay, I'm not going to solve them. I know some of you guys might like try to solve them, but do not try to solve them. Okay, so here I've got 19 times 9. Going to leave that alone. And then over here, I've got 3 19s. So I know I'm going to do 3 times 19. And it tells me, excuse me, guys, that I am going to triple them. All right. So guys, kind of think about this. Here's 3 19s. Here's 3 19s. And here's 3 19s. Sorry. How many 19s do I have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. How many 19s do I have over here? 9. That one is going to be equal.